Hi, intuitive viewers. How's it going? How are you? So let's talk about the documents. This is not going to go away. So the dumb documents. So yeah, I wanted to touch on just a few things because I think Thursday Night Live is good for, just quick going through stuff real quick. But then it's like I need to kind of look into stuff a little bit because I feel like there's more there, but I'm not really maybe getting it all. So that's why I need to go up by myself and get some context or some understanding. Um, so what I wanted to let you know, I wanted to let you know a few things that may help in this instant, and then to have like all of these weirdos, or lack of a better word, being put on all these committees, and it just feels like, oh no, here we go again. But no, we're not going again. So I just wanted to give you some things that I've been picking up and getting that might help. So the first thing about the documents. So I asked for more information about this because they've been talking about how it's like the drip, drip, drip. They keep finding him here, finding him there. And what I keep getting are words like careless, forgetful. It sounds more negligent than it sounds like sinister. And I'll talk about Trump too, but with Biden, it feels like forgetful, careless, forget, things like that. It doesn't feel like sinister, like, it doesn't have that feeling to it at all. It just feels like, whoops, that kind of thing, even though it's, top secret documents. But they gave me the imagery of, and I don't know this, but this is exactly what happened, but it at least gives us kind of an idea of what may have transpired. But what I got was an image of someone looking at something and then putting it in a drawer or putting it in like a file or something, and then time passing, and then someone picking up the whole drawer and just dumping it in a box, right? So it's almost like I need to look at this, and I'll look at it, in 2 months when so and so is visiting or whatever, and then the whole thing gets picked up and dumped and then shoved into a garage or something, whatever, and then they just forget about it, right? So that's kind of the scenario that they gave me as far as like, how could this happen, or what the heck happened here. I don't know if it's exactly the kind of thing that happened, but it's that kind of scenario that could be responsible. So I hope that makes sense. And what they made me feel like was that it's all okay, and because what will end up happening is tougher kind of better rules in the way that top secret documents are handled at all levels, because I feel like on some levels it's like it's really really like people are there when you read them and you have to give them and hand them over right then and blah blah blah, and then other ones are a little more loosey goosey, and I feel like it's all going to become more important, and so we'll all be safer for it. And it could be a little embarrassing and it could put people out and stuff, but in the end, this stuff about documents will be actually good for the country. For Trump, it will also be good for the country, but it will be bad for him, because what he did was different and it does feel sinister. There are some that I think I've said this before on a couple of different lives, but some of it felt like, oh, I just want to keep this because it's my letter from Kim Jong-un and we love each other or whatever. And then other stuff was kind of like, I'm going to keep this just in case. Just in case, like I want to have it. It's kind of like there's no real purpose, but I just want to have it. This could be worth money. This could be, so they're all little things, but some of them were much more sinister than others. Some I felt like was leverage. Like I could hang this over this person's head. So it felt much more mobby and much more, much more sinister than the Biden stuff. Biden stuff feels more like Mr. Magoo, and he feels more like Trump feels more like the mob. So that's the difference in feeling. Um, and it will be treated as such, right? It will be treated like, Mr. Magoo will be embarrassed and feel like an idiot and whatever. But that's a whole other thing. And to me, the thing that I'm liking, that I'm picking up with Jack Smith, and I feel like Mueller, a lot of stuff was pretty accurate as far as the way he thinks about things and the way his ideas about things, the way he'd like things to go. And it was more that his hands were kind of tied by the circumstance, right? It was Trump's department. It was Trump's government at the time. It was Trump in charge. It was more the circumstances that really held him in place. But his ideas and the stuff he did, I mean, he put tons of people in prison, right? He got tons of people indicted. He did a lot. But he couldn't get to Trump, right? Because of the circumstances. But I feel like Jack Smith has all of these characteristics that are, some of which are Mueller, some of which are Garland, and then some are just more, again, I kind of feel like willing to take a chance. Like the kind of person that's like, yeah, we have a chance of losing, but this is the right thing to do. We have to do this. So that's where I feel like he's coming from. And I think that on some level, Trump knows this. I think on some level, Trump knows that he's going down in a big, big way. As much as he likes to be Mr. Positive and, and as much as he has avoided things so far, you go back to the image of the King Kong image, which I always go back to a million times all the time. But I remember one thing that was very clear about that was that not only was this a huge fall, but we were meant to see it. Everybody's meant to see it because we're all meant to learn from it, particularly Republicans. And I feel like although they keep saying, well, if they get rid of Trump, they're not going to get rid of MAGA, whatever, it will be the stake in the heart of this movement because it is going to be so public and such a big deal. And it's going to be, it's going to be public as a big deal. And we're all going to witness it. That they keep saying that, oh, it'll survive without him, or he's just a figurehead. He's just no, that's not what I'm picking up. So I'm just letting you know that that's not what I'm picking up at all. I feel like it is a big deal, and that Jack Smith is just not afraid of. It's kind of like we have to do this anyway. It may be scary and it may be hard and it may be the first time and we may not succeed, but we have to try. And that's the kind of person this is. And I think that deep down Trump knows it. So anyway, that's what I think. And I think that is why he's so nervous and so worried and freaking out so much. And the other thing I wanted to just say was that another thing that my guides have said to me recently, because I complain a lot. I'm like you guys, probably being like, what the heck's going on? Joe, why are you doing this? Things like that. Why do you keep finding documents? Is that my guides, they kind of said, I told you so to me. And so I'll pass on the I told you so to you. But basically they said, listen, we told you that if you're going to watch the news day to day and you're going to get into the drama day to day, you're not going to be happy day to day. You're going to be very frustrated at points, and you're going to be more fearful at points, and you're going to have this more up and down kind of roller coaster, because we're letting you know this is all moving one direction, but day to day, it's going to be stop and go. It's going to be a little bit backing up and then a little bit going forward. But basically, this is these tougher, harder, meaner energies are being ushered out, and kinder, more loving, understanding, patient, empathetic energies are moving in. All right. So that's what's happening. So they're like, get it through your head, Kim. So, but if you're watching it day to day, it's going to be a back and forth, and it's going to be a tug of war. And so you see stuff like these people being put on these committees, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people. And when I asked about that, because you have to understand that I'm a human being, right? And I have my own set of anxieties and things and luckily I do have my guides to buffer this for me and be like, listen, this is what's going on. But with Marjorie Taylor Greene and these people being put on these GOSOR and all these weirdos being put on these committees, it's very, very peaceful and kind of me. All these people being put on these committees, what they're letting me know and letting you know is that there is there's going to be an uptick in all the things people don't like. And so they're going to be very much on display for the kinds of people that they are. And because they only listen to their echo chamber, their most radical people, they're going to get this feedback of like, we love this is great. But everybody else is going to be horrified and just think this is awful and embarrassing and terrible. And why did we ever give the House to the Republicans? That's what it's going to be. And so we don't want to keep going through this stuff, right? We don't want to keep going through this stuff, but let them investigate, right? Because let me put it this way, and this is the way my guides put it to me, so I'll put it to you this way. Law-abiding people don't worry about the law. Criminals worry about the law and being afraid of the law and being nervous about the law and wanting the law to go away, wanting, to try to diminish law enforcement and stuff. If there are criminals in the Democratic Party, we're not going to protect them. We're going to say, oh, they're criminals and they need to go away. But that's not the way that this particular group of people operates, right? That they're afraid of it. They know they've done things that allegedly for entertainment purposes only, that they're going to be called on the carpet for, and that they are in trouble for. So, and they're going to be in trouble for. So they're trying as hard as they can to dismantle what's about to come and get them. Okay. But we don't need to be afraid. So do not move because of these people. Don't move into that fear energy. Let them be in that. Let them work in that. Let them do whatever crazy things they're going to do in that. We don't have to be afraid. So we don't have to be afraid. And that is the way this is going to go, according to what my guides are saying, that this is just going to be on display for all to see, and it's going to be highly embarrassing and highly, how they are: loud, obnoxious, embarrassing, lying. It's going to be it'll be a circus, and it will be to their detriment because they're not getting it. They're not reading the room that regular, normal people want to work, pay their bills, get their kids into school, buy Christmas presents. They just want to do normal stuff. They're not interested in digging up someone's laptop and looking through it. They don't care about that stuff. So they're going to make themselves look petty, grievancy, angry, miserable, weird, and crazy. And that's that. Okay. So we don't have to be in the fear energy. Let them be in that. And we will stay in the love energy and the kindness energy and the helpful energy, and put our attention towards good things that we can do that are for the good. And that's where we'll move into. Okay. And speaking of that, on my community page, I just put all the donations that we were able to give to through the channel for Intuitiview for between October and December. So if you want to see that, it's on the community page, and I have everything listed, and a lot of animal organizations. So you might want to go and see that. But anyway, aside from that, that's the kind of energy we're going to stay in, right? We're not going to go into this fear craziness because we don't have anything to fear. We really don't. We're moving on from these energies. They're liking, they want to keep into these energies, but the energies they're being moved and changed. And people fear change. They fear the other, and they fear change. And so they're living in a lot of fear right now. So we just need to let them go do that. And be patient. Be patient. The other thing that, and I want to move on to Santos, but before I do, I just hope that it never comes across as preachy, because I really don't intend it to be that way. When I tell you, like, this is this way or this is this way, it's what my guides tell me, and it's it is what helps me to kind of move through these things, these events and stuff. So I hope that it never comes across that way. But I just have to let you know, this is what I'm getting. This helps me, so maybe it will help you. So I hope that's the way it's received. So, okay. And finally, Santos, he's going. I keep getting police lights around him, stuff with money around him, stuff that's old is coming back for him. I mean, this guy is and so many of these people, I had something else I want to tell you. So many of these people they're just grifters. They're just grifters. They're con people. And he is such a con man. And it's also consequences, right? You invite this kind of stuff into your party, you invite it into your party. They're going to come. The con people, the crazies, the violence, the whatever. We had the guy with the shooting up the people in New Mexico. It's going to come. If you call it, it will come. So that's what is happening. So it's also just natural consequences of their extremism and their radicalism. Yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, so that's what I keep getting with him. So he's going to be yanked at some point, and a lot of these people are. Just letting you know. The other thing that I wanted to let you know that I got, which was really interesting, I was on a private phone call with someone I was doing a mentorship with, and they were talking about kind of that they had gotten in I don't know if it was a meditation or something, that they had gotten that religion would be kind of a thing of the past. People would be moving on from organized religion. And so I was kind of asking about that, but also asking about any information that my guides could give about just that in general. And they showed a major fall and mass exodus from megachurches. So I don't know what is about to happen. And what I have realized is that time is no longer in play. I feel like when I very, very first started, I get a lot of things that were very immediate. And I feel like that was to build trust with my guides. So I would say something, then it would happen. I would say something that would happen like days. And now I feel like I see things way out, or sometimes they're close, but I have a really, really hard time now of judging, because I get so much that I have a hard time of figuring out what's really close, what's far away. This feels like it's a little ways out, but it also feels like it reverberates. It's big. It kind of reminds me of the televangelist fall in the 80s when Tammy and Jim and Tammy Faye Baker went to jail, and they had that other guy that was crying on TV, and they had this, it really became a joke, and they lost tons of members and TV shows and everything. it feels like that. But it's like this mass exodus from the mega churches, and it feels big. It kind of feels like, I have to say, and it kind of feels like the Catholic Church kind of scandal that with when that happened. It kind of feels, and I'm not saying it is like exactly the same kind of thing, but it feels like that big of a deal, and it reverberates. It feels like it goes on and on and on, like kind of like Me Too, where it's like, oh, this person came forward, then this person, then this person, everybody's a sex offender. It's like, it feels like that. So just FYI, and just kind of know that's coming. And I don't, like I said, I don't have a time frame. The biggest thing was that it just felt huge, and it felt like it just reverberated. It just kept going. When it begins, maybe it's already started. I don't know. But it feels like it doesn't feel far away. It feels like within, like between now and probably 2024. So it feels like pretty close. But also it could be stretched out, over time, where it's kind of like a whole year of these scandals. To me, it more feels like it's connected to money, but it may also be a mixture of things. But I'm getting chills right now. So there's something to this, but just know that that things are changing. And as my guides have said, like it really can't be really stopped, because it's our evolution. We're evolving. So it's not like you can't stop it, it's coming for you. It's not that. It's just that this is the way it's going. And this is all, and my guides are like, this is the way it's meant to go. So, and these things will be falling away, and we will learn lessons along the way. And sometimes the lessons will be painful. We'll have like all of the global stuff we're going through with the weather and everything, to get us to move on global warming, and get us to change our ways, and get us to be more friendly with nature, and get back to that kind of relationship with nature that we need to evolve to. We need to be, in a way. So they're showing me right now as I'm talking, they're showing me, like, in a way, when we first, very, very, very first were on the earth and we had animals, it's almost like we were among the animals. We were very closely related, because we were so like them. And we are human animals, I don't want to say that, but it's kind of like we've evolved, and we've gone through this period of taking, like, having the power to be in charge, and thrusting our power upon nature. And now we're evolving to a place where we're going to be kind of stewards, and responsible stewards of the earth and of nature, rather than going way, way back to when we were in harmony, but we were also kind of amongst it more, rather than being in a power position. And it's like we'll still have kind of a position because of the way we can think, not because of anything else, but the way that we can think and analyze and do things in a different way than animals can, that we will become more responsible and kinder and better stewards of the earth and the animal kingdom and all of those things. So that's what they just showed me. So that's just how it goes. So we're evolving. We're in all of these areas. We continue to evolve and change. And one of the big evolutions and going into the fifth dimension is remembering who we are as spirits, coming back to our loving kindness, and bringing it to the earth. And through all of this learning and changing and growing through all of these awful things we've been through, we're moving through it now. We're going to the other side of it, and all of these energies that have taught us, but that we're done with: violence, anger, cruelty, things. They've taught us things, right? They've taught us things, but we're evolving past them so that we don't need to learn that way anymore. So we're done with these energies, and so we're moving past them. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But at least that's the way it's shown to me. You know, there may be other readers that see it differently or get different ideas of ways of explaining it and stuff, but that's it in a nutshell is what I keep getting. So I hope that makes sense. We've talked about the shift forever, and it's not a choice thing. It just is happening. So we don't have to be in fear, and maybe we won't live to see all of it. You know, maybe we'll we'll have to in the next lifetime we'll see it happening, but we don't have to fear anything. We really don't. It's moving one way, and that's okay. We're aware of it, so we really don't have to be scared in any way. So anyway. Okay, so I guess that's it. So wrapping up, we have our classes starting next week, Debbie and I, for our intuitive development, and the descriptions at the bottom, just hit the link and you can sign up. It starts next Monday. And I have a few mentoring sessions up through summer. So if you want to sign up for a mentoring session, the link for that will be there, and also my recorded classes as well. I have an intuitive class, a fourth class that goes with those classes, and then I have an orb class and a dowsing rods class. So if you're interested in those, please go check them out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.